Look at you. No braces, all the internet you can handle. I wasn't so lucky.
Invis is not your parents' braces. Invis is predictable, less painful, more comfortable. Invisalign.
Welcome back. U.S. Bank helps us bring you stories of inspirational athletes who overcome adversity to succeed in school and in sports.
Tonight we meet the Leigh softball star player coping with the loss of her dad. Our DANIELLE PODLASKI has the story.
Leigh senior pitcher Rachel McCarroll grew up playing softball in her backyard with her dad. In 2014, Rachel's dad passed away, but Rachel is determined to work hard and succeed in the sport her and her dad loved.
Powerful, composed, intimidating. 3 words to describe Leigh senior pitcher Rachel McCarroll.
She is what you would call a power pitcher. And the last time I gunned her was probably 4 or 5 months ago. But she throws in the range of 62 to 64 miles an hour. And if she's throwing a fastball inside at your hands, I don't know how many people have the courage to stay in and swing at that pitch. So,
Rachel was introduced to the sport of softball at an early age by her dad.
My dad was a baseball player through high school and college. It was his favorite sport as well. So when I started playing softball and really started to fall in love with it, it became a connection that we shared, and we both just loved being on the field together.
Growing up, Rachel's dad coached every single one of Rachel's softball teams.
My dad would know every single detail of every single play, and we would definitely go through it, but he wasn't. For us, it was more of a learning experience and building on mistakes and seeing how I could improve on the field.
Rachel's dad started training Rachel to become a switch hitter when she was 8.
I am a natural born righty, and in 8U my dad wanted me to learn how to switch hit. So instead of hitting on the right, he had me train hitting on the left, and as much as I hated it, I just stuck with it.
Rachel hit lefty for 2 years. Her dad plans on working on her right-handed swing in the summer of 2014. But he never had the opportunity. Rachel's dad passed away unexpectedly in May 2014.
Going through that was definitely the hardest thing my family and I had to live through and somehow overcome. It's still really, really difficult, but having each other has made it that much easier.
Kevin loved his family with a passion. He was a wonderful man. And Rachel has 2 sisters, so he would always make every game in practice that he could, and prior to his death, he would catch every every lesson that his daughter had.
After her dad's death, Rachel turned all of her focus to softball, the sport that bonded her and her father.
After my dad's passing, it was kind of a moment that hit her that without my dad there, she wanted to continue to play softball. It was the thing she loved. She spends all of her time into it, and it was just a really great fit for her, this sport.
I was still pretty involved in other sports, such as volleyball and basketball here at Leigh, but softball was really kind of where I grew up with my dad, and it's a big connection that we had, and so now whenever I play, I still am able to feel that connection with him, and that's a big reason why I still play.
Rachel proudly wears number 5 for Leigh, the same number her dad wore for his high school baseball team.
Being able to wear number 5 is such a privilege to me. I mean, I love to be able to kind of carry my dad's legacy and his love and determination to play baseball in the softball area, and I know he would be so excited to see me out there wearing number 5 too, and it just kind of reminds me of why I really love the sport and how I first got introduced to it.
In the abbreviated 2020 season, Rachel pitched to a 3-2 record with 35 strikeouts and a dominating 2.83 ERA. Her stellar play, along with her impressive 4.17 GPA, caught the eyes of a lot of colleges. But this talented pitcher had her heart set on one specific school. In November, Rachel committed to play Division I softball at Dartmouth.
In talking to the coach, she was awesome, and she works with pitchers herself, so being able to work with her will be amazing. I also got to talk to the assistant coach and some of the girls and what they were creating their culture and just their style of game was something I really wanted to be a part of, and I couldn't be happier.
Rachel has come a long way since the heartbreaking loss of her dad. Through difficult times, Rachel never gave up.
Her dad would want her to do, when you fall down, get up, keep going forward. And that's what she did, to the amazement of me. I don't really think I could have.
Although her dad is not here physically, Rachel knows he is proudly watching down on her, analyzing every pitch.
My dad would be the proudest one out of all of us. I mean, we're all super proud, but he out of everyone, just to see her keep going with her passion, with his passion, to carry it on, he would be beyond words proud.
I think my dad would be extremely excited to see that I'm continuing to play softball at the next level because he did so too. I think being able to put in all that work with him in the beginning has really paid off, and he just, even though he's not here physically, to be able to kind of watch me and just see the potential and be able to continue that progression is really exciting for him and me.
Every time Leigh pitcher Rachel McCarroll steps onto the mound, she thinks of her dad. It's where she feels closest to him. Rachel's dad taught her everything she knows. Rachel hopes to keep his legacy alive with every big play, win, and strikeout.
Rachel is excited for her next chapter at Dartmouth and hopes she'll be able to wear number 5 for the Big Green. Robert and Aubrey, back to you.